Today, we connect the bricks with artist Dave Ware, who uses a favorite toy as his creative medium.
Everybody builds a different duck. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true.
Then we'll meet Mike Hooves, a talented illustrator whose series of felt marker portraits celebrates the community that inspires them.
I'm trying to capture their essence through their portrait and with the space they're existing in as well.
And mural artist Adrian Williams explores her Caribbean ancestry with her very first public mural.
I wanted to put what people feel on the inside and make that somehow resonate on the outside.
This and more on Living a Creative Life. I'm Adora Nwofor, and today we explore different methods of self-expression, from building with tiny bricks to felt marker portraits or public murals, to see what drives people to create. On the socials, we find the lowdown on Article 11's Dear Woman, a new performance you can stream for free until October 18th. At Sherry D. Wilson unveils the final aspect of their 2-year legacy project, YYC Pop with @Nenshi. And Love Art in Calgary shares images of original art by Keegan Starlight, gracing the New Horizon View building. How does an experience with improv at an early age lead Dave Ware on a journey to turn his lifelong passion for Lego into a business venture?
So there's two things that you have to have in order to be successful as a Lego builder. One is a low pile carpet. That's very important. You can't have a big thick shag carpet. And the other is you have to keep your children out of that area because they're the ones who drop the bricks on the floor. The best way to avoid stepping on Lego is exactly the same way as if you're in the ocean and there's stingrays around, is you just sweep your feet. You never step down, you just sweep your feet. So in the Lego world, a lot of people have what they call a dark age. So you get to about 12 or 14 and then you stop playing with Lego. And then a lot of people start playing with Lego again in their, when they grow up kind of thing. So that in the middle period is the dark ages. So I kind of came out of mine by buying a few sets. From there, I started doing the mosaics, started putting those online and found out about this whole community. And now I'm building all kinds of stuff. I started displaying some of my stuff at the Calgary Expo. Since some of these people were coming to the expo, it would be cool to do a picture of them. So the first one I remember doing was Adam Baldwin from Firefly. And then I put a picture of it up on Twitter, and people talk about how your phone blows up, and it had never happened to me before, but man, it just didn't stop buzzing. And then I kind of decided, oh, this is a good way to meet some of my heroes and that kind of thing. So I'll just start building pictures of them. A lot of this, the building and the ideas for the building, is all sort of informed by the fact that when I was 15 years old, I went to Loose Moose Theater and saw some improvisation, and it blew my mind, and I wanted to be part of that. And so I went up there and I started volunteering, and that was 34 years ago, and I'm still doing it. So pretty much everything that I do is kind of, through that lens of being an improviser and saying yes to things and exploring ideas. My day job right now is I'm a data guy for oil and gas. So there are some kind of links between the two of them in that you have to sort of think ahead and you have to sort of be organized in your approach to things. You can just start building, but often you'll find this didn't work or that's not the right height. So there are some applications, keeping track of the bricks and where they are and that kind of thing. I use some data analysis skills for that. One of the ways that I combine work stuff and Lego stuff is there's a course called Lego Serious Play. So if you put a bunch of bricks down in front of someone, they'll start building, and then they're gonna start using a different part of their brain to do that. And so one of the ways that we show people that they can be creative, even if they don't think they are, we get people to make a duck. Do you wanna make a duck? Okay, build a duck for me. Okay, so you chose not to use those two pieces. That's absolutely fine, and you built that. That's a duck. The fun thing is, it's not a duck, it's 4 pieces of plastic, but we made it look like a duck. Now, if we got 50, 60 people and I told them, can you build me a duck? we probably wouldn't get 2 ducks that were exactly the same. Everybody builds a different duck. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. The reason that Lego has lasted as long as it has is because it's not just a toy. It's a system for building things. It's a way to put other things together and make new things. And that's improv. All of that, all of the creativity comes from the place of improv and then kind of expands out from there.
With the medium of felt marker, let's see how illustrator and animator Mike Hooves embraces mistakes in a portrait series honoring LGBTQ Two-Spirit Plus Calgary artists.
My name is Mike Hooves. I'm a multidisciplinary artist with a focus in illustration with markers. Because I work with markers, a lot of my process involves losing the ability to erase. So I'm wrestling a lot with the medium and kind of navigating my mistakes and having to work them in. This is one of the pieces from Prairie Queer. This is my friend Sudaki Black. Everything they're wearing is symbolic to who they were. They really thought out what they wanted to wear. This is Dave Ware. They're a local drag performer. A lot of their art is about body positivity and about their racial identity. This is my dear friend Barb. She's an elder to me. And I really look up to her. And she's what I'd call like an old school Prairie Queer. She's really into like cowboy stuff and horses. I'm trying to capture their essence through their portrait and with the space they're existing in as well. I do explore queerness, and I find through that approachability, it's able to normalize a bit of the queerness that's in there. No one should feel in danger, and no one should feel threatened for their race or their identity. Recently, the co-founders of Pink Flamingo, they were attacked, and one of them, who's a Black lesbian, was attacked in a racist manner. I wanted to make a response that felt genuine and direct from me. So I just created a cute little drawing that's a little hopeful, hopefully. You know, it shows solidarity through caring for one another. It was really important that the people in the community, especially the queer community, were caring for these people. There's a queer theme throughout. There's always some kind of queerness, but I try and make my stuff fun and colorful and engaging to anyone looking at it. It's really important for me to kind of explore the figure through movement and gesture and to kind of normalize different body types and normalize different kinds of people. For me, being creative in Calgary is still finding ways to engage with the communities you resonate with and the people you love, and you're able to bring that back into your work.
You may have noticed several murals popping up across Calgary as part of the Beltline Urban Mural Project, or BUMP. Let's see how Adrian Williams reflects upon their background with their mural, as well as the restaurant that it's painted on. Is this your first mural?
This is my very first mural. And it's not for lack of trying either. So I've been applying since 2017, and I've just been persistent with it.
It's official.
It's
You're
official.
a muralist.
Yeah.
drawing as a kid? Were you like on sidewalks? Were you ever into graffiti?
Absolutely loved graffiti. I loved street art. I thought it was so amazing. It was a way to interact with the public. You don't have to pay like a gallery. It's accessible to everyone. So I liked that aspect. And I liked the aspect too that it was kind of taboo. So I mostly paint people. I try to incorporate elements of family, friends. That's what I draw from. So you'll see a lot of my daughter in my work. Obviously, she's on the mural. In considering the location of where the mural was being placed, I wanted to have the input of the person who resides here all the time. I mean, I have her son up there, he's picking a coconut. She said that when people come into her restaurant, they feel like they're in the islands. So I wanted to put what people feel on the inside and make that somehow resonate on the outside.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, I feel it. Who doesn't love a mango?
Right?
It's fantastic.
The food here is so good. Could you imagine if you had to paint a mural on the side of the building where the food was trash?
No. Your process of creating this large-scale mural, what was that like?
I'm not gonna lie, it was a huge challenge. I did learn a lot along the way from the other mural artists that were around. I used paint and a paintbrush. I'm never gonna do that again. I'm gonna use spray cans. I guess that's how you learn, right?
Great. Considering Black Lives Matter, to have something showcased that is kind of representative of you, but also maybe like your people, your community, how does that feel?
It feels amazing. It feels like a long time coming. I wanted to work on a larger scale. I feel like I always kind of have a message to convey and sometimes don't have the words to convey it. So having a huge canvas like this is amazing.
There was some dissent on the news. Someone came and interrupted you and said that you should not be here. How did that impact you?
It's almost shock because you can't believe that it's actually happening. And then anger, he physically stood in front of me and I couldn't do my work. So yeah, I just packed it up that night. And yeah, I mean, I felt defeated in the moment, but now that the mural's done, he gets to remember what he did to me every single day by looking at it.
Right.
So.
Right, and it's spectacular. Hopefully that person doesn't feel guilty for the rest of their life because they changed.
Right.
And if there's change and there's growth, there's no reason to be guilty.
That's right.
But if not, well, there's a beautiful mural
Right.
that we can enjoy. So what can we do to support Black art in Calgary in general from your point of view?
Yeah, just initiatives like this, right? Like in the beginning, you used to have to kind of go away. I mean, I've been to Italy and Spain to show my work to kind of get myself out there. And it's nice to see that you can stay within your community and build these things and create these things because you see street art, public art everywhere you go in other parts of the world. So it's nothing new there. So the fact that it's new here is crazy, but I'm glad that it's happening because it needs to happen.
Thank you, Adrian, and all you creative Calgarians for sharing your stories, insight, and talent. If you have an example of living creatively here in Calgary, please post to submissions@calgaryartsdevelopment.com or with the hashtag YYCLCL. See you next time on Living a Creative Life.